You're watching the Dallas Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We're answering all of your questions live right here on our mailbag. Part of our new live shows on Monday was a time change adjustment to the schedule after all. Some super thanks I want to get to, by the way, from Anthony2X. Hey, Tom, love the show. Keep updated on these long trips on the road. Happy to hear it, Anthony. Happy to be here. Feel like we should have signed Dicker the kicker. What about you? Also, I feel about Diggs. He didn't get burned on a lot of plays. He's a zone player. What are your thoughts? As for Dicker the kicker, he is now Dicker the punter, which I thought was his best spot coming out of Texas. He is fighting for the Rams' punting job. I don't think kicker was really in the cards for him. As for Diggs, yeah, don't let a couple of training camp plays, highlights and whatnot, and one-on-one drills get you out of whack. It's not where Diggs is going to shine. Like, he's not a burner overall. Fehoko and Lamb actually are faster than him, just pure speed-wise. Don't be worried about Diggs. He's going to be just fine. A $10 one, so I'll do a beer cheers for you from William. Your insight on the boys is appreciated. What is your top 5 power rankings right now and at midseason with the teams based on your insight with injuries and etc.? So I don't want to go too far onto the midseason because I don't want to say, oh yeah, this guy's going to get hurt. That feels like bad mojo. Top 5 right now. And these are all, of course, adjustable pretty easily. Rams, Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Packers. I will mention one team that I'm not going to put top 5 right now, but I think there's a great chance they will be mid-season, is the Chargers. I am excited about them long-term with Herbert, Slater, etc. Who do you think is the best team in the NFL? I don't think, if we're being honest, we would say that the Dallas Cowboys. They did not have the best offseason, and, the Rams won the title. So let me know. Best team in the NFL right now. Both those questions were part of Super Thanks, a new feature here on YouTube, allowing you to donate outside of the live videos. Click the thanks icon. It's a little heart with the $sign in the middle of it. We appreciate all your support. Those of you who do donate, thank you so much. If you Super Thanks, we will give you guys a shout out here on the Cowboys Report. The Lunatic. TJ Vasher needs special teams. I had to make the 53. DC for L. You can put in DC for L if you want to in the comments. It would help. Those receiver 5, 6s, etc. almost always need special teams value. If he can show he can be a gunner, that's going to do wonders for him making the 53-man roster. But right now, we haven't seen too much of it at this point. From Will Marshall, $5. Beer cheers, my friend. At this point, Dak has put on his Aaron Rodgers hat and with less at wide receiver. Unless you're over the kitchen sink, no one's going to trade with us. I think you're right on the trade part. I wouldn't consider Devontae Adams winning with less at wide receiver. But current Packers receiving core is worse than Dallas's. So I get if that's your point, Will, I totally agree with you. From Randy Stitz, another $5 one. Bottoms up again. Cowboys either go get a damn kicker or go for it on 4th down. Bring back Forbath. He's a free agent. I'm not going to say no. As for going for it on 4th down, yes. Team never punt, never kick, has never felt more alive than with the current kicking woes for this Cowboys team. From Michael Malone, sign Antonio Brown. No. Antonio Brown is a very talented receiver. I get all that. He's got the new fun dance, whatever it is. But I don't want that head case on my football team. I don't trust Antonio Brown to keep it together for an entire season. He couldn't do it with Tom Brady in the midst of a playoff hunt. Like, I love Dak, but he ain't Brady. If it didn't work with Brady and the Bucs, why would it work anywhere else? I refuse to believe it. But we are a show based on democracy. So would you sign Antonio Brown? Fun Wayne to bring back here. AB for yes, FAB for no. I'm spamming my FABs because I don't trust the person. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. AB for yes, FAB for no. Nate Rosario says trade for Robbie Gould or Mason Crosby. Robbie Gould is still kicking very well for the 49ers. I doubt they trade him at all. Mason Crosby, it might shock you to know, was not good last year. So I don't want to trade for Mason Crosby. At age 38 and coming off a 73.5% accuracy season, I'm not interested. From Diane, what do you think CeeDee's stat line will be this whole season? I'm optimistic about a big-time volume breakout year. I hope he gets more targets. I would like 88 catches, 90 catches, 1,200, 300 yards, and 8, 9 touchdowns. That's a big step forward. Maybe not even as big as he can go, but I think is also somewhat reasonable. Hopefully, he gets force-fed targets early on. Zeno saying, who of course you're going to pick this one because he gets to answer it, are the Cowboys winning the division, Jeremy? What's their record if so? I'm going to drink while you answer.
Thank you, Zeno, for the question. I keep on going back and forth between the Cowboys and the Eagles winning the division. I think both teams are going to make the playoffs. I told Tom I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not a flip-flopper like Mr. Downey over here. It's going to be 10-6-1 for the Cowboys.
Oh,
I have the Eagles going around the same. I'm going to say like maybe 10-7, 11-6. But, I mean, I think both teams make the playoffs, and it's just a toss-up of who wins. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of who wins the NFC East. Kind of like
most years.
Most years has been pretty close. But that's what I would say. I think both teams still make the playoffs, but it just depends on that last couple of weeks. What do you think, Tom?
I think that's pretty accurate. I've got the Cowboys winning the division. At some point, the NFC East curse must be broken. I'd feel a lot better about the Eagles if they had a better quarterback. Now, maybe it takes us a step forward. I kind of doubt it based on what we've seen so far, but I still go Dallas in the end. The Cowboys Report is also on Rumble. It's where we have Cowboys Report After Hours, an exclusive live show each and every week, free and uncensored content. We are trying to grow to platforms you guys use. Give us a follow for free, rumble.com/CowboysTV. From Roy Williams, the safety of the receiver, who knows, why are the Cowboys banking on UDFAs to start in week 1? Jerry won't admit that receiver and kicker is a problem, and it irks the hell out of me. I mean, he doubled down again on the receiving room, which, by the way, I think Noah Brown would be receiver 3, not Dennis Houston, but he's got reps with the 1, so I get it. As for kicker, make a change. If you just keep rolling with it and try to be patient, I think bad things will end up happening at that spot. From Pedro's Lucario, how many sacks for Anthony Barr? I don't think that many. I think his main role will be off-ball linebacker. Now, he can blitz. He's done it before in his time. But if you're letting Barr blitz so you can put Parsons at off-ball and drop him into coverage, it's probably a mistake if you do it too much. So I'd say 3-ish is about the right range for Barr, both this year and, for the most part, historically. From Joey, I'm really scared about the new illegal contact thing. Our defense under Dan Quinn must be very physical, and we contact a lot. I have a bad thing about this affecting Brown and Diggs. I think it's a dumb rule. It is an emphasis on the rule, so it's not that it hasn't already existed. It's that they want to call it more frequently. I think, in general, illegal contact, I am very curious how it will get used. Let's see how it looks in the preseason. Let's see how officials call it in the preseason before we have to melt down. It's stupid, by the way. I hate the valuing of underthrown footballs. I wouldn't panic too much, though, at this point. From Jerry Jones's burner, could Will Grier win the back role? I assume you mean back up role. Maybe. I think there is a battle right now at quarterback, too. Rush has not looked the best so far in camp. I think Will Grier has outplayed him, but Rush has better experience in terms of preseason results and, of course, the Vikings game last year. Now, Rush, in kind of a weird fashion, has almost always been an every other year guy. Every other year, he takes a step forward, then regresses, and then bounces back. It's always interesting from that standpoint. So I would not rule out Will Grier winning that job. I would rule out Ben DiNucci winning that job. So pick a backup quarterback for me. Type in CR for Cooper Rush, or type in WG for Will Grier. Ularupo Bird, if I got the first name wrong, I'm sorry. Tommy, sup? Are we a pass first or a run first team? It depends on who you're asking. I think if you're asking Kellen Moore, he says pass first. If you're asking the Jones boys, I'd bet they say run first. Overall, statistically, they are more of a pass first team, but I'll say this. They almost want to be a run it once on first or second down team, to the point that it's a problem. Josh Rubble, 75. For the Cowboys, how good is the offensive line scale of 1 to 10, and is that good enough to win a Super Bowl? I am worried about the offensive line just overall. I have doubts if they're going to be reliable enough. You can go to the weakest link is the issue. I'm worried about right tackle, center, and left guard a little bit. They were not good last year, and they really hurt the offense. And overall, you couldn't figure out how to win around it. With that said, they are good enough to win a Super Bowl if other players and pieces step up. Well, look at the Bengals last year. The Chiefs at points. Those offensive lines were not good. The Bengals' offensive line was bad last year, and they found ways to win football games. Now, you weren't that far away last year from making a run, so you got to find a way to make that run this year, or there might be a coaching change coming down the line. Preseason week 1 is almost here, and you better believe we'll be live for it, breaking down with our watch parties, having some fun, drinking some beers as well. So predict the score. Cowboys at the Broncos, preseason week 1. Remember to include the team you've got winning, by the way. The Lunatic, one of our fans mentioned trading for KC wide receiver Mecole Hardman. Thoughts? Interesting name. He continues to try to get utilized. To be blunt, he's been a disappointment in Kansas City overall for his career. He offers speed. They did lose Tyreek Hill. I'm not sure how available he is at this point, but he fits the vertical that you don't really have right now, smart return value. So sure, I would be open to adding that, specifically if you are not sold on Kevontae Turpin being that return man. Alicia Melendez, sign Kai Forbath or even Sam Sloman. They would currently be better than what we have. Maybe Hiralahu can be your guy, but his leg strength is not great. I would love to take Garabay's leg and Hiralahu's accuracy. That'd be fine from that standpoint overall when it comes to kickers. But if this continues, you have to look elsewhere because otherwise you're doing the same thing for no real reason. From Randy Stites, Trysten Hill or Bohanna makes the 53. I think Quinton Bohanna is more likely to make that 53-man roster as the Cowboys can utilize guys like Neville Gallimore as your hybrid 1-3, maybe late down ones. Bohanna, Ridgeway as your true run cloggers. And your 3 techniques can be Gallimore, Osa, Odigizua, and I think you can play Chauncey Golston some on the inside. Plus, you can reduce down some of your defensive ends. So I'd say Bohanna over Hill, though. Hill's had a pretty decent camp so far. If you made it to the end of today's video, thank you. It makes you a real one here at the Cowboys Report. Show us that you are so we can give you some love by spamming real one in the comment section.